And good afternoon. I just posted a video a little bit ago trying to ask some help to identify some of the super hots to make sure I got that variety so I don't mislabel them. One of them that I didn't need help identifying, it was pretty obvious to me, was the Trinidad Scorpion. Pretty distinct look. I know there are some 7-pot varieties that have similar look, but not quite this distinct. In addition to that one, I got, here's a couple more, pretty noticeable to me. This one, not quite as much, but you can see that if it, it's got the stinger forming, but then these three, I got varying stages of ripeness. Most of them were red or orange, but then you see this one's kind of yellowish green, still a little green, but they're definitely scorpions. Okay, so I'm going to take this bad boy and take a crack at it. Save the bigger ones to gather up all the seeds. Definitely nice to have Trinidad Scorpion seeds. I have some right now, but nice to have a reserve stock. Can't really smell much. A little bit green, shall we say? Doesn't smell like a Naga. It doesn't really smell much like a habanero either. Maybe faintly similar to habanero, but okay. I'm a little nervous. I don't know if this is the Butch Tea strain or what, or if there's that much of a difference between Butch Tea and regular. I think Butch Tea is just the name Neil gave it because of who he got the seeds from, Butch Taylor. But of course, eventually they will become distinct varieties in any case. But I don't know specifically what one this is, so here we go. Similar flavor to a Naga. Nice sweet burst, fruity. Like I said, it's kind of like a fruity bubble gum. Heat, I can feel. Lots of drool already. Faint bitterness, but it's not that bad. Oh, wave of heat. There we go. I was going to say, just about to say I might get the hiccups from this one. Oh, that and this one, for size comparison, two smallest pods. Oh, lips glowing. Good sting right in the back of my throat. Damn, these are violent hiccups too. Hot coal is building right in my throat. That's probably the most noticeable, right in my throat. But the whole top of my tongue is starting to pick up. Still can taste the flavor a little bit. Not my favorite, but a sweet fruity burst right at the beginning. And then it started to get a little bit bitter. Heat built. It's definitely continuing to build right in my throat. Oh, that right. Oh yeah. Heartburn like sensation down there. face is sweating a little bit, especially my eyebrow region right up in here. But man, my throat is really getting a beating. Heartburn sensations picking up too. Faint lip burn on my lower lip and tongue, but oh man, this is quite intense in the throat. Getting hard there more than anything else. Tongue is starting to catch up a little bit, but not quite that level. It's still that. That's what it feels like. Yeah, top of my tongue feels like it got branded by a hot iron. That sensation is creeping on down here though. Wow. Not really any stomach pain, but like right in here. Really intense. Whenever I breathe in, I can feel the heat just go out from the middle of my chest. And that's probably the most uncomfortable at this point. Whole top of my tongue still feels branded. And the lips are starting to catch up. Throat is subsiding. It's still there. Back of my tongue on either side. It's brutal. Like right in this region. It's not like a pain, just very disconcerting sensation. I don't feel like when I ate that chocolate Bhut and started panicking, I don't feel like I'm really going to have an endorphin rush all that intensely. I can feel a little bit of featheriness right on my cheeks right here. Lots of drool. Oh, back of my tongue now has really picked up, especially when I swallow like that. It's definitely rocking. Eyebrows and forehead are sweating. Hair's damp right up here. Wow, yeah. Nose is running. Lips are burning at a fairly decent level. Upper and lower now. It was just my lower lip more so than anything, but now they're pretty balanced. Roof of my mouth now. Wow. Roof of my mouth is numb. Not numb in the sense that I can't feel anything, but when I lick it, I can't feel that. No taste. My tongue is numb to taste. Maybe still, never mind. Faint, but not really. Thickening is starting to happen of the saliva at the back of my throat. Upper lip is sweating now. Ooh, top of my tongue kicking up a little bit. As I press down the roof of my mouth, there must be some capsaicin adhering to the roof of my mouth. Ah! Damn. A little bit heartburn-like sensation, warm right in here. Starting to move down into my stomach. Roof of my mouth burning a bit, but it's, like I said, it's starting to feel a little numb. Top of my tongue is still going at a really good level here. It's gradually diminishing, but it's steadily rocking. Yeah. Okay, so no significant endorphin rush. The worst has passed now. Face is sweating. Whew. Yeah, all the way up in my hair right here. Damp. Nose is still running. Lips got a little bit of a glow still happening. Forehead sweating still a little bit. I can feel some reaccumulating moisture. Still drooling quite a bit. Maybe faint flavor lingering back there somewhere, but not much. Okay, so back to the flavor. Before I got overwhelmed by the heat. When I smelled after I pulled this stalk off here, smelled faintly like a Naga habanero, somewhere halfway between. When I bit into it, got that rush of flavor similar to the Nagas, kind of a bubblegummy, effervescent, sweet, fruity flavor. And then as I chewed, that diminished and replaced more by a slight bitterness. I don't know if anybody else has gotten that type of flavor from them, but tons of drool before I was even done with the pepper. Like I said before, I think that's a defense mechanism, so you don't get chemical burns inside your mouth. Your body produces more saliva to kind of keep the resins floating around without sticking to your soft tissues too much. Swallowed, felt an instant jab of heat in my throat, and as I swallowed the rest of it, I felt almost right away like I was going to get the hiccups, and before I could even say I think I might get the hiccups, they didn't last very long though, which is good. I've had them last quite a bit longer. When I ate my first daddle pepper, I got the hiccups for like 2 or 3 minutes, even though that's not as hot as these. Yeah, it's almost diminished completely now in my mouth. Still towards the back of my tongue, I can feel a burn and almost a numbness. Same thing with the roof of my mouth, but it tends more towards the back. And when I swallow, though, it picks back up and stings right in the back of the tongue again. Throat burn was brutal for about 2 minutes there. That was the most intense for a while, and then moved down into my chest, and then a really intense, almost claustrophobic, closed-in feeling in my chest of when I breathed in, I could feel the warmth just jab outward into my ribs, and it was this very disconcerting sensation. It was not really pain. I don't know how else to describe it, but it was very uncomfortable for a moment there when I was breathing, and at the same time my throat was really getting attacked, and then my mouth started to come in more, and so it was just all kinds of different burns going on. But that was really interesting with the I've never really gotten that right in the middle of your chest. I've gotten the heartburn sensation and the really strong burn, but not that type of sensation. And the super strong sting right in the middle of the throat. Not quite akin to a habanero type burn where it's more encapsulating in the whole mouth. The whole mouth gets the throb. After a while, my whole mouth was there, but then it became more predominant on my tongue and not so much on the roof of my mouth or my gums or anything. I got a faint glow on my gums, but not really as strong as the roof of my mouth and my tongue and my throat and chest. Throat, chest, and then it moved into the mouth after that. Mainly the tongue and the roof of the mouth. So, yeah. I'm glad I ate a small one. I'm going to say that right now. If I had eaten any of these bigger ones, I'd probably be hurting right now, and I'd probably still be filming my painful reaction. So yeah, Trinidad Scorpion. Here's the various levels of ripeness and various sizes and shapes, but they're definitely scorpions. Yeah, red Trinidad Scorpion. Pretty decent flavor until the bitterness kicked in, and yeah, akin to Naga flavor, but not quite as fruity. Definitely flesh was a little bit more crunchy than the Bhuts and Nagas. Not quite as thin or slippery feeling. The Nagas tend to have more of the frutescens influence in that regard, that the flesh is a lot thinner and slippery on the inside and a lot more tender. The Scorpion, I mean, you can hear it. It's kind of plastic like. It's still fairly thin flesh and skin. Wasn't really a thick peel to it, but it's definitely more like slightly more like a habanero thickness wise. A little more crunch to it than the Bhuts and Nagas, which tend to be break up a lot more. But the flavor similar to Naga, but a little bit of more of a bitterness to them. Smelled almost green at first too when I smelled it. But yeah, Trinidad Scorpion. Pretty good pepper. I like the flavor. It ended with bitterness, and there's not really any tartness to these peppers either. It's just kind of sweet and fruity, and then it hits into the bitterness. So, not the greatest flavor, but still pretty damn good. Better than a lot of annuum varieties I've had. Maybe I'll find a strain that combines properties, more of the juiciness or high water content of the annuums with the flavor of the Trinidad type varieties, but we'll see. Right? I'm going to cut this one off. We're at 17.5 minutes, so yeah. Still a little sweat happening on my eyebrows even now. Burn on the tongue is still there, but it's subsided, so take it easy.